Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Frances, and if you're new here, I basically make videos about everything and anything I want to share in hopes of inspiring or helping someone out there. But today specifically, I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So this is a tag in the Booktube community where you basically just talk about the books you've read so far and just do a mid-year check-in to see what you have read, what you've liked, and there's just like a prompt of questions that you can answer. So I'm just gonna answer the questions and I hope you guys enjoy with what I have to say. Let's get started. Also, I know that it's September, so I am really late at this. I should have done this during June or July, but the first question is, what's the best book you've read so far in 2019? And I would say The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, but this also ties in with On the Come Up, which is another book that she made, and I don't have that with me physically, but I'm going to use both of those books to answer this question. But yeah, this was incredible. This came out in 2018, I believe, and then On the Come Up came out this year. And it was incredible. Everyone needs to read this book, and the movie is great, the writing is amazing, the storyline is everything. Loved it. Second question is the best sequel that you've read so far, and I would say Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Seanan McGuire. Out of all the books of the Wayward Children books, I absolutely love this one. This book was just the best that I've read so far out of the whole series, and it was just a really great sequel following up Every Heart a Doorway. And I really like Seanan McGuire's universe and her imagination and the type of story she writes, so I'm really interested to see what else she puts out there. But as of right now, this sequel is incredible. I love the rendition of what she did between the characters and the whole world, her incentive of portraying diversity and noting specific gender roles and standards, and everything about it was just incredible, and I really loved it. It was super short. I listened to it on audiobook and it was only like 4 hours, but I was so hooked with the whole thing. Loved it, and that was my favorite sequel. The third question is a new release that has come out but you haven't read yet, and that would be Patron Saints of Nothing by 𝓲𝓷𝓼𝓽𝓪𝓰. This is basically a Filipino YA story that I've been so interested in reading about. I am Filipino American, so I definitely want to read more YA books or adult books that involve Filipino main characters or settings, and I feel like I'm responsible of learning more about my culture since I've been super Americanized, and I feel like I'm not super in tune with the Philippines and its culture. I definitely want to invest the time and effort to just learn about my history and just get in tune with where I came from, even though I grew up here in America. So this book was up my radar. I am very interested to see how it is, and it combines a historical fiction element somewhat, but not really, into the book, because it does take place of the current president that we have right now in the Philippines. So yeah, I'm just really interested, and I want to support my Filipino authors and artists out there. So yeah, that is one book I really want to get to. Fourth question is the most anticipated release for the rest of the year, and that would be The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I loved Scythe and Thunderhead with all my heart. I am so excited to see how it ends, and I have super high expectations and standards for it, so I'm really hoping Neil Shusterman doesn't disappoint me, because I loved Scythe so much. And the second book left on a cliffhanger, so I am so excited to read that, and I'm already planning to reread the first two books before the third book comes out. The fifth question is the biggest disappointment of the year, and that would be A World Without You by Beth Revis. I read Beth Revis's Across the Universe trilogy a long time ago when I was younger, and I loved that. So when this mystery contemporary novel came out and I read the premise, I was really hoping that I would love it. And although I switched formats between the physical book and the audiobook, it just didn't impress me whatsoever. So my expectations were just really shattered, and I was really sad because I was just hoping to really like it, but I didn't. So yeah, that's my biggest disappointment. The next question is the biggest surprise, and I would say Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. I didn't expect myself to enjoy this, but I ended up reading this during like a 24-hour readathon, and I loved it. I just adored the whole story. I feel like it was so different, so unique, and so refreshing, and I love Nnedi Okorafor's writing. I feel like she is so slept on, and I also read her other book, or like her other novella called Binti, and I really really enjoyed that because she incorporates so much sci-fi elements. In this one, she incorporates like witchy magical elements, and I just really adored this so much. So highly recommend this book. I loved it, and I also did like a little book defacing. Isn't that so cute? This is Sunny, the main character, but yeah, highly recommend this. And I also want to read 𝓲𝓷𝓼𝓽𝓪𝓰𝓻𝓪𝓿 because yeah, I love this, so I want to finish the duology. Seventh question is new favorite author, and I would say Angie Thomas, who wrote this book and On the Come Up. Her writing is just phenomenal. It just sucked me in from the very beginning, and everything about what she's done for the story, her intentions, and everything she's just done, and her existing and putting out this book in itself is just another level of admiration for me, and I just love her. I hope she creates more stories in the same neighborhood slash world, even though this is like based off of real life. It is based off in like the same neighborhood, even though it doesn't exist. It's just like kind of fictional. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. So yeah, I love Angie Thomas for making such two incredible books that I read this year. My foot is asleep. The eighth question is my new favorite fictional crush, and that would be Ray from The Promised Neverland. I love this manga so much because I first watched the anime because of my best friend Natasha. She recommended me to watch the anime, so I watched it. I fell in love, I became obsessed, and I ended up reading the manga online, and I ended up binge reading it in a good 2 weeks. And yeah, Ray is my crush. I wish I could date someone like him. He's just so precious. So precious. Also, if you've watched the anime, I know Ray is super young, but in the manga he does grow up, so that's why I have a crush on him, because he did grow up to become this like mature guy, and I really adore him. So yeah, he's my new favorite crush, fictional crush. And the ninth question is my new favorite character, and I would say Scarlet from the Lunar Chronicles. I've read this series before, but I just reread the whole series this year, so when I was rereading it, I totally admired Scarlet so much. She is basically the retelling of Red Riding Hood in the whole series, and she is so badass, amazing. She is not afraid. Really adore her, and I look up to her as just a character in general because she is just not afraid of anything. She is so bold and brave, and her personality is something I aspire to be. So yeah, I stand Scarlet Bonnois in this book and the whole series. 10th question is a book that made you cry and that would be 𝓲𝓷𝓼𝓽𝓪𝓰𝓻𝓪𝓶. I said that's so weird. 𝓲𝓷𝓼, oh my gosh, 𝓲𝓷𝓼, I can't say okay, I'm just gonna try to say it. 𝓲𝓷𝓼. How come I can't say it regularly? 𝓲𝓷𝓼. Okay, there you go. Aristotle. But I'm gonna say Aristotle because it sounds cool. Okay, sorry, I'm being so extra right now, but Aristotle and Dante discovered the secrets of the universe. That took too long, I'm so sorry, but this book made me tear up. I was listening to this as an audiobook when I was on my road trip this year, and it was so precious, so wholesome, and I'm already tearing up about it because it's such an amazing book. There's a reason why this has so many awards, so if you haven't read it already, why haven't you? Because I don't even know why I didn't read it until this year. I should have read this like 5 years ago. 11th question is a book that made me happy, and that would be The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This book just encompasses my whole mentality and my perspective on the world, and I just love the two main characters in this book. I want to reread this because it is such a wholesome, happy, uplifting view of the world, and I have hope in the future. So yeah, this book just makes me really happy, and holding it and looking at it makes me really happy because of the cover and just the way it's presented. Come on, it's like, it's so pretty. And the sun is also a star. That is a fact. That is truth. The sun is a star, and so is this book. This book is a sun and it's a star combined. The 12th question is the most beautiful book that you bought or received this year, and I haven't bought a super beautiful book, honestly, because I was able to limit my book buying habits and spending, so I'm just not going to answer that. But the last question is, what books do I have to finish by the end of the year? And that, my friend, is many many books on my bookshelf have to be finished by the end of the year. But is that reasonable? Is that obtainable? No. But the main thing I do want to read is Harry Potter, reread the Percy Jackson series, and read All the Light You Cannot See. Those are the 3 things. I mean, not really 3 things because I'm talking about 2 series and then 1 book. But yeah, those several books and that book. So those 3 things. Those 3 overall stories. Too lazy to grab them, but they're on my bookshelf, I guarantee. But yeah, that is it. So this video is all over the place. I hope you guys enjoyed. I low-key feel like I got delirious at the end and I'm just like super sleepy because I'm filming this at night. But yeah, if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!
So again,